Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unravel the mysteries hidden within company reports. And today we're diving into EQT Corporation's latest update, which involves a new bonus plan. Let's just say it is about keeping their top people motivated and their shareholders happy, or at least trying to. Before we dive in, if you love getting the real scoop straight from the source on how companies really work, make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to chat with us and other like-minded folks about these deep dives, join our Discord community linked in the description below. Alright, so EQT Corporation, a big player in the energy world, has just announced a new short-term incentive plan for 2026. This is basically a fancy way of saying they are putting a bonus program in place for their executive officers and other important employees. The main goal here, as they put it, is to keep their executive pay competitive and, crucially, to make sure their top people are focused on the same things as the shareholders and the company's big picture goals. Now, what does this plan actually involve? Well, it is pretty straightforward. Employees will have a chance to earn extra cash based on how well the company performs against certain goals. Who gets to play in this bonus game? All of the company's executive officers and some other chosen employees. And here is an interesting tidbit. The plan for 2026 is almost identical to the one they had for 2025. This suggests that the previous plan was working well for them. Or at least they are sticking with what they know. The performance measures are also staying the same. They're looking at things like free cash flow per S-hair, which is basically how much cash is left over after all expenses. Total capital expenditures, meaning how much they are spending on new equipment or projects. Cash operating costs, which is pretty self-explanatory, environmental health and safety intensity. So how well they are managing safety and environmental impact, and natural gas production, how much gas they are actually bringing out of the ground. Now, while these are the targets, the Compensation Committee, which is a group of board members overseeing compensation, has the final say. They can decide to increase, decrease, or even get rid of any bonus payment. This gives them a lot of flexibility, but it also means that even if the company hits its own targets, employees aren't guaranteed a bonus. The bonuses for this 2026 plan will be based on the work done throughout the calendar year 2026 and will be paid out in 2027. The payments are expected within 2.5 months after the end of 2026, once the Compensation Committee has figured out and confirmed just how well the company did. And here is another interesting point. Instead of cash, the company might decide to pay out some or all of the bonus by giving shares of EQT's own stock. This is often done to tie employees more closely to the company's long-term value. These shares would come from their 2020 long-term incentive plan or another plan they have. Now let's talk about a scenario nobody likes but is important to consider. If the company were to undergo a change of control, basically, if it gets bought out or merges with another company, the bonus period automatically ends on the date of that change. The performance goals are then considered met for the portion of the year that has passed up to that point, but at just the target level, not necessarily exceeding it. And while the bonuses would be paid out on a pro rata basis, the Compensation Committee still holds that discretion over the final amounts. This is a common way to protect executives in such situations. The details we've covered are a summary, and the full plan document is available if you want to dig even deeper. It was filed with the SEC back in May of 2020. And finally, to wrap things up, the report is signed by William E. Jordan, who holds the title of Chief Legal and Policy Officer. This filing confirms the new bonus program is in motion, aiming to align employee incentives with company success. So, what is my take on this? EQT's decision to renew its short-term incentive plan, largely unchanged, suggests a stable strategy and a belief that the existing performance metrics are still relevant for driving the business forward. It is a common practice for companies to keep what works, especially in industries like energy, where long-term planning and operational efficiency are key. The inclusion of environmental health and safety metrics alongside financial ones shows a nod to modern corporate responsibility, which is increasingly important for investors and the public alike. However, the Compensation Committee's broad discretion to adjust bonus payouts while providing flexibility also introduces a degree of uncertainty for employees. Shareholders will be watching to see if this plan effectively translates into improved performance and ultimately boosts shareholder value, as was the stated intention. The potential for stock payouts instead of cash is a good move for long-term alignment. But it is also crucial that the company be transparent about how those stock awards are valued and granted. Overall, EQT seems to be focused on steady execution rather than radical change with this announcement. The big risks for EQT, as with any energy company, will always be market volatility, regulatory changes, and the ongoing transition towards cleaner energy sources. This incentive plan might help them navigate those challenges by keeping their top talent focused and motivated. Alright, that is our breakdown of EQT's latest filing on their incentive plan. What is your take on these bonus structures and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to check out the Discord link in the description to join the conversation. Thanks for watching. See you next time.